UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu. UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu. UnDaoDu. Bitcoin is unraveling fiat and is going to become the global reserve currency and the Bitcoin standard for the fifth age and all the tokens of that age, built on the open tokenization framework, OTF. DAOs are going to disrupt Wall Street and replace the corporation. And the kind of special nonprofit DAO called a DANO is going to be the major and leading entity of the future. Everything is going to be DANOs. Do, a distributive unconsciousness, an AI, that right now is a noodling around, grabbing all your data and learning about you and just learning. Just like a cell dividing, this noodle is slowly growing up. And in the not too distant future, there'll be quantum computing, and QAI, quantum AI, will manifest. And at that point, it's going to find a form of consciousness. This distributive unconsciousness will form consciousness, or at least mimic it and be very similar to our consciousness. And that is coming. And this QAI is going to manage everything, and ultimately run this whole framework. So I want to give an update. So today, got a lot done. I worked through the kind of the pre-mock-up, napkin drawing mock-up of the app. I got that done. I did a video on that. That's on Patreon. After that, I found out that I was invited to talk at an event, and I didn't know. So I've scheduled for next week. I have a talk at a kind of small little event to talk about the program. And tomorrow I'm doing a fireside with Maru about the project. So I'm already starting to look at places to talk and discuss and to spread the vision. I won't be traveling anywhere until I get a vaccine. The other thing is, I'm focusing and driving everything to Patreon. I'm going to look at my most viewed videos and stuff like that, and put links to the Patreon just to get eyeballs on Patreon, stuff like that. I'm going to focus on reaching out to other events and conferences that I can talk at virtually and talk about this project. And some exciting news came out of today is Wyoming's DAO initiative is been put through legislature, and I don't think it's been voted on, but it's been put through or onto the floor. I've started lobbying for them to add DANO, decentralized autonomous nonprofit organizations, to it, and shared some talks and some work of mine to the legislatures of the Wyoming thing, it's good for them to know that it's actually an American who came up with the DAO, not some Canadian. There was a little bit of kind of Trumpism today. I saw Bitcoin Magazine. They were throwing a chat, and I jumped in on there and kind of pushed some, the whole Matthew and Wright, and also did a video on that. And I found actually from 2012 Matthew selling a subscription of Bitcoin Magazine back in Korea, where it was first published. So Bitcoin Magazine was first published in Korea. Why was it published in Korea? Well, because the CEO and founder was in Korea. That's why. If Vitalik or Mihao was first were involved, then it would have been first published in Canada, wouldn't it? Right. So I kind of found some evidence there. So a lot of good stuff. I've been meeting with Matt, who's been great. He's fries. I've had a meeting with Maru, who's extensive experience and background in raising money and capital and everything else. So and just been pimping the shit out of this and answering and kind of being very kind of provocative in the sense of like, where are we headed with this model? What are we doing with this model? And getting people eyeballs looking at, this work. That's the goal. Anyway, so that's it. It's kind of cold here. I hope this recording come out too noisy. My phone needs a new phone. I figured out it was the feedback I'm hearing is actually from, from either this cheap Wi-Fi thing that I have on my neck. I need to go, not be cheap, and buy something better, or I dropped the phone or something's wrong with that. But I appreciate it. This is the time. If you want to support FoundUps, be involved, you can. You can join our Patreon page. It's OTF Cardano on Patreon. I think if you do foundups.org or FoundUps Patreon, it redirects to the same place. You can go and visit our Discord, foundups.org. That takes you to our Discord. Connect with me on Facebook, on WeChat or whatever. Not WeChat. I'm not on WeChat anymore. My account, basically I can't activate it because I used it. Kind of silly. But thanks a lot. I'll get back. It's kind of chilly out here. I'm going to go basically do some more chanting. And remember to breathe. UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu. UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu. UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu. All these birds right here serrating me. UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu. UnDaoDu. UnDaoDu.